Hello class, this is Unit 5, which begins our two-part study of sales and use tax as it applies to electronic commerce. This unit introduces the basic rules for sales and use tax and then moves to the difficult question of determining when an online seller is required to collect tax in a state on its online sales of products and services. As we will see, sales tax is generally a tax on gross receipts from retail sales where the seller and the buyer are in the same state, while use tax is generally a tax on gross receipts from retail sales where the buyer is not in the same state as the seller. A seller must collect tax in a state if the seller has substantial nexus in the state. Substantial nexus results when a seller's presence in a state is sufficient to permit that state to impose its sales and use tax laws on the seller. As we will see, this usually means the seller must have physical presence in the state. While finding out if a seller has physical presence in a state may seem easy, this is not so. In the world of e-commerce, whether a seller has physical presence in a state is often a difficult question to answer. For example, does a web server in a state constitute physical presence? If a seller attends a trade show in a state, is there physical presence? A seller can also have substantial nexus if its agents have physical presence in the state. This rule brings up many new difficulties. For example, if a website owner in a state refers customers to Amazon and thereby earns a commission, does Amazon have nexus in the state? Many states have adopted the so-called Amazon tax, which says yes, if a website owner refers customers to an out-of-state online seller, such as Amazon, in exchange for commission, the online seller has nexus. As we will find, in response to the uncertainties regarding seller nexus, some sellers have voluntarily agreed to collect tax in states that are members of the Streamlined Sales and Use Tax Agreement, or SUTA. This is an agreement among the member states to abide by a more or less common set of sales and use tax rules. This agreement also gives sellers certain incentives to voluntarily collect tax.